What's going on, everybody? Sorry about the lighting. I'm shooting this in the middle of the night with just a light on my camera. And I thought this was pretty important. As we're going into 2023, I hope everybody's doing well. And I read this story online, and I just feel that I really need to bring everybody aware of this and talk about something that I probably don't talk about enough on here, and that is safety. So let me get into the story. If I mispronounce any names or anything in here, that's not intentional, so don't jump me in the comments, guys. So, this story takes place in Concord, New Hampshire. Emily Sotelo's 19-year-old daughter was late returning from a solo hike, and she wasn't answering her phone. Panicking at the trailhead, Sotelo called her husband for help. "I could not stop my anxiety," she said. Emily Sotelo emerged from the woods safely that August day. Concerned about a couple she had passed who appeared to be struggling. But 3 months later, the college sophomore was dead. Her body found on another mountain that would have been her 20th birthday. Though Sotelo had started hiking 2 years earlier, she had already summited 40 of New Hampshire's 48 peaks. Over 4,000 feet, that's 1,219 meters. A popular goal that has long attracted hikers to the White Mountains. But she had almost no experience with winter hiking, and officials say she was woefully unprepared for the brutal conditions that killed her. The name her parents are considering for a nonprofit foundation in her memory includes both a recurring theme of her life and the lessons of her death. The Emily M. Sotelo Safety and Persistence Foundation. Emily had a lot of persistence, but you have to balance that with safety, her father, George Sotelo, told the Associated Press. You have to run one day to fight another day. Emily Sotelo was good at everything: music, math, art, athletics, but in life lit by ambition and determination. She was also good to others, whether providing palliative care to the pet gerbil or directing a reminiscence therapy project for nursing home residents. She volunteered at a Navajo reservation school and worked to reduce drug abuse at the Vanderbilt University. She was a trained EMT who wanted to become a doctor focused on public health. At her daughter's funeral, Emily Sotelo described Emily as a shooting star, so brilliant and bright, that had burned too fast. In an interview at the family's home in Westford, Massachusetts, she said her daughter was determined to make the world a better place. "But I would do anything to have her back, even without that impact," she said. Emily was also determined to complete her 48 mountain quest by her birthday. Starting Sunday, November 20th, she planned to hike alone for 3 days, have her mother join her on Wednesday, and celebrate with dinner in a Grand Mountain, Washington hotel. She told her mother that she had checked the weather, and Olivia Sotelo did too, but only saw that the forecast for where they were staying in Franconia. The forecast for the region's higher summits called for temperatures between 5 degrees and below zero. That's negative 15 to negative 20 degrees Celsius. On Sunday, with wind gusts up to 95 miles an hour. That's over 100 kilometers per hour. Okay. For low temperatures in the 30s, that's 5 below Celsius. It was cold, but I didn't know anything about the mountains or anything else. It did not look bad, Olivia Sotelo said. The pair shopped for food that afternoon, and Emily did some schoolwork before setting an alarm for 4 a.m. the following morning. Her mother dropped her off at the trailhead at 4:30 a.m. with plans to pick her up in 8 hours. At 5 a.m., Emily sent a text listing what she wanted for lunch. By 11 a.m. it was snowing lightly, and Olivia sent a text asking how the hike was going. There was no response. The temperature was in the low single digits as search and rescue crews headed up the Mount Lafayette that afternoon. Wind speeds remained 40 to 60 miles per hour throughout the night, said Fish and Game's Lieutenant James Keeland. The temperature was in the low single... on Tuesday, the searchers found some of Sotelo's belongings and possible tracks in the snow, but it took them almost 2 hours to travel 900 feet, crunching over small trees packed with ice and sinking into knee and even waist-deep snow. A helicopter spotted more tracks, but it was getting dark, and the search was called off for that day. On Wednesday morning, the teams approached the area from different locations, and just after 11 a.m., one of them found Sotelo's body near the headwaters of the Lafayette Brook, 3/4 of a mile, that's 1.2 kilometers, from the trail. Nealon believes that Sotelo lost the trail as the wind and snow started blowing and died trying to get out of those conditions. I'm not sure we'll ever know the true story, Keeland said. According to Keeland, oh boy, I'm butchering this man's name, I apologize. Sotelo wasn't even carrying any of the essentials that officials recommend for day hikes, even in the summer. No map, no compass, no matches, no flashlight, no headlamp. Though her parents said she used her phone as a light with a backup battery pack. In her pack, she had a granola bars, a banana, and water that likely froze early on. Nealon said she wore long underwear but only light pants and a jacket. She had heated gloves and a neck warmer, but no hat. Her shoes were for trail running or trekking rather than insulated boots. I often refer to them as glorified sneakers, Keeland said. Low on the ankle, no ankle support. Probably what happened is when you start post-holing in snow and underbrush, they got pulled off. In late fall and early winter, it's not unusual for hikers from southern New England to arrive in New Hampshire unprepared for the snow-capped summits, Nealon said. Sotelo's story, he said, is a reminder to other hikers not only to be prepared, but to be ready to turn back. Those mountains, as we often say, aren't going anywhere, Nealon said. And I don't think it's necessary for me to read any more of this. When I talk about safety, it's my responsibility, your responsibility, anybody else going out into the woods. It's our responsibility to be prepared. Because you try going in the conditions she did, basically with almost no appropriate gear, you're taking your life in your own hands. And sadly, my heart goes out to her family and her friends. This is terrible. I truly hate hearing stories like this. It upsets me. Because she's 20 years old, guys. She died on her just before her 20th birthday. Her whole life in front of her. It's so sad. And it's preventable. So I guess what I'm saying is safety, guys. Safety. And I want to hear, has anybody had any real, skin your teeth close encounters on a bad hike or a bad time out in the woods? I have. I've had a few, but I'm still here because I prepare for that. I prepare for the worst. And when I get, through with my hike, I count myself lucky that nothing bad happened most of the time. So I want to hear down in the comments your worst experience in the outdoors, be it death-defying or not. And I want everybody to send their best wishes to the Sotelo family. It's terrible. That's all I got to say about that. Safety, guys and gals. Safety. I'll catch you all later out in those woods in 2023. Hopefully it'll be a better year than 2022. Thank you for watching.